For the majority of the first 30 minutes of our game against Southampton on Saturday lunchtime, it appeared that my pre-match nerves about the game were well founded, as a Southampton side, mostly unburdened by the rigours of international football and 2 undisturbed weeks of training, took the game to United. Now that bit shouldn't have come as too much of a surprise, as that has been what their whole game is all about. It's an attacking, front-footed approach that provides them with lots of the ball, a fair bit of chance creation, and can give the opponents little chance to get a footing in the game. It served them well last year in the Championship, but as this style of play has proved in the past, it's completely different in the Premier League. A stubbornness or a naivety to assume that that style can be continued regardless of the league has bitten the arse of more than one all-conquering promoted teams, and on this showing it will bite another one unless they accept it and make changes sooner rather than later. Frankly, that's where the conversation ends regarding Southampton, as their missed penalty and follow-up header were their last meaningful contributions to the game. A lineup featuring the rarely seen Christian Eriksen rather than the eagerly awaited Manuel Ugarte caught most people by surprise, myself included. Still, the rest of the side was the one I predicted in the previous video. The Southampton pressing game, coupled with our customary ponderous start, led to the nerves I anticipated, with the only real bright spot being Matthijs DeLigt, who gives every indication of being the player we hoped we bought. The performance and match turned on the penalty awarded to Southampton, as Diogo Dalot, having been torn a new one for half an hour, made a challenge he really didn't need to make to give them a chance to take the lead. It says a lot about the consistency of Southampton's finishing that the penalty was piss poor, as was the follow-up header, and United got away with one. Having been reminded of our defensive fragility, we decided to try giving attacking a go, as DeLigt scored with a header after a lovely, lazy cross by Bruno. Then Rashford got a lovely goal from the edge of the box 6 minutes later. The last 15 minutes of the half gave us a glimpse of what could be, as both DeLigt and Rashford could have easily ended the half with 2 each. Despite Ten Hag's post-match comment that United went out to kill the game off, it didn't look like that, as we kept possession and made Southampton run round a lot, with only momentary attempts to increase our lead. Ugarte getting a few minutes, Southampton getting their captain sent off after a disgraceful tackle on Garnacho rubbing salt into the wound, with a lovely finish to increase our lead with the isolated highlights from a quiet 45 minutes. The main takeaway for me was the obvious quality of DeLigt, but special mention should go to Mazraoui, Xerxes and Ahmad. For 15 million quid, Mazraoui looks an absolute steal, solid in defence, proactive in attack and composed no matter what, an excellent addition to the team. As the game went on, Xerxes' influence started to spread, and with his ability on the ball and ability to see a pass, I'm very excited to see how he gels with Rasmus when he returns. Finally, Ahmad is being allowed to show that he's not only an impact sub, he's also capable of producing for 90 minutes. Like most of the team now, he's still young, but he's worth the starting spot. As journalists and YouTubers slam their keyboards in frustration at having to postpone their Erik Ten Hag out agenda for a few days, we move on to the likes of Barnsley at Old Trafford on Tuesday in the League Cup. A side sitting 5th in League One shouldn't really be too much of a strain for us, regardless of the side we put out, but this early in the season, with a side consisting of a lot of players with limited pre-season, it could be quite revealing how Ten Hag actually goes about picking a side. Will he aim to give players with limited minutes more game time, or will he focus on getting a settled side? Personally, I'm hoping he opts to give the squad a bit of a run out. The players we have now are the players we're going to have until Christmas at least, and a game like this is an ideal chance to get some minute in some legs. A game fit by Indeer, Lindelof, Johnny Evans and Anthony, with some minutes for Collier, Wheatley etc. wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. Erik has been reluctant to change the side unless forced into it in previous seasons, but that could have been because he didn't have anything resembling a squad to chop and change. He does now, but will he?